Hey guys, welcome back to whatever this is, and on today's episode, it is a game that is very near and dear to my heart, and a lot of people hate it, and I understand why. Here we go. A few days at the time of this recording, a few days ago, 20 years ago, Shenmue was released in North America. So guys, here we are. Another very important game to me, again, that was on the Dreamcast. I absolutely adore Shenmue and the things that also came out of it. Shenmue is, to this day, still such a weird game to describe to people. I love it to pieces. I love the story. I love the characters. The story of Ryu going and trying to kill Lan Di and get revenge for his father, as then you're living his life as he explores Japan to Hong Kong into, he goes deeper into the third one, into small villages. And I absolutely adore it. I could never get anybody else into it, and I think that's kind of a detriment to what it is, but I do love this franchise. I have the 1 and 2 remake. I still have my copy when I worked at Walmart of Shenmue 2 for the Xbox, and I did kick back Shenmue 3, of course. The second it happened, I was hooting, hollering, and screaming. I had a Discord with a friend that night. Actually, it wasn't even Discord. Skype, that's the dealie. And I just couldn't believe it the whole time. I'm like, there's no way they actually announced this. And I love all three of them. I can't get over just how much I do enjoy them, especially even discussing story elements, because they're such a slow game that you kind of have to live the mundane life, and then you get the exciting parts. It's very unique in that aspect. And it's really neat how all these years later, there's still massive amounts of people who still want to play it. A lot of us were disappointed with the third game. I was as well as one of them, but I still like it. I don't know if I'll go back to it anytime soon. It's not like the first two. I actually did play them multiple times. This one more so. As to me, Shenmue also signaled the end of Sega. While playing it, I remember trying to make sure I did everything. I wanted every little item you could get in Shenmue 1, and I just remember playing it, and I was sitting on the couch playing it, doing some weird thing, probably at the arcade, and my brother just came in, and I thought he was trolling me. He's like, yeah, this Sega's getting out of the hardware business. I'm like, it's really funny, Dreamcast's great, what are you talking about? And yeah, that's waiting for Shenmue 2, I realized that that was it, and it sucked. I couldn't believe him. I just couldn't. As much as Shenmue's great, it was a downfall to Sega, but I still loved it. It was part of the reason why I picked up an Xbox, as well as Jet Set Radio Future. I loved Sega, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it being gone. It's wow, I'm still kind of bugging me a little now. Thinking back to that moment. But with the gameplay being this weird life simulator while trying to get information, I can now almost speedrun this game, just being like, oh, talk that guy, talk that guy, talk that guy, and even time my days out so I know exactly where I'm supposed to be at what time, which is in its own weird way its own skill. Completely pointless and useless, but I have it. And the touch-ups were really nice. I actually did get a few people to play the HD versions, and some of them liked them. Some of them were like, yeah, I'll pick up 3 when I see it cheap. Which is fair. I did get a kickbacker copy, and there's my little paper sleeve for it right there. And at GameStop and EB Games in Canada, they were even giving out little medallions of the Dragon and Phoenix mirror, which were absolutely fantastic. And you have to play these games. They're kind of an experience more than anything, and I am even realizing now I'm having a hard time putting it into words. I'm trying my best, but I'm really bad at it this still. Again, we're still a small channel, very small. We are like a dot on the table. Not even. And I just want to keep doing this. And I love Shenmue. I want you guys to experience it. The story of revenge for Ryu, I want to see it concluded all these years later. I was really hoping the Xbox would be its home, and it's not. And it was the PS4 where it came out. And maybe one day it'll pop out on the Xbox, I'm hoping, for at least the Xbox fans. As everyone should at least have access to it. It's such a unique game. I also love the fact of the main thing that spawned out of it, if you can't tell what's behind me, what Shenmue started, Yakuza kind of finished. I always have this dream that I would love to see where give it to the Yakuza studio once they have the full story of Shenmue, and then let them Yakuza it. I would love to see what comes out of that madness. It would be incredible to see that. I would love to see that studio take a swing at what they think the first Shenmue game would be like. It would probably be, like, absolutely crazy, hilarious, and weird. I am 100% down for that, as I am about 7 games deep into Yakuza, and I'm always down for more. And Shenmue is a legacy that screams what the Dreamcast was, and it's crazy that a game like this actually ran on that system. And just the detail that's still there that you really appreciate here, and even some of the graphical tricks that they did, especially even to get, like, lighting appearing behind trees was really neat. Like, on the HD version, you can see as clear as day, is you can see that there's just the background of trees, and then they put, like, sparkles in front of it to really give this unique effect of, like, hey, this is the lighting, but all it was like, little twinkles. It looked good if you weren't really looking at it. The second you look at it, the illusion's broken, but, like, it was a cool trick to see on this hardware. And Shenmue also comes with one of my biggest regrets ever. When I played the Pokemon card game and I was at the West Coast Championship, I walked into a GameStop, and they actually had a new copy of Shenmue 2 from Europe for the Sega Dreamcast. And the second I saw it, I absolutely begged my mother to buy it for me. Absolutely begged. She did eventually cave and buy it, and I played through it once on there. And then I ended up selling it because I thought it was worth a lot, and I was a lot younger and a little stupid. And I have regretted that decision ever since. I wouldn't say I regret it right away, but shortly around, I would say, like, as I was finishing high school, I'm like, man, why did I get rid of that? I still had the first one. And I was so sad about that. I loved Shenmue 2. Not as much as the first one, again. I always prefer the first one, even though it is the slower game, but it's what I know. But this game was the second one was a better game. But I also liked the second one because it had Ren. Ren was a really fun character. And Nozomi and all his friends, like, Shenmue is its own wonderful beast of weirdness. And if you like the Yakuza series, I would say check out Shenmue because Yakuza took what Shenmue started. Especially you can see it in the PS2 era games. And then, you know, Grand Theft Auto came out and the Yakuza games got bigger and bigger and bigger. And this game, leading up to its release, was a huge deal. I remember all the demo discs being like, oh my god, Shenmue, oh my god, Shenmue, you gotta check it out. And yeah, we got it. It was a great game. I remember, like, finishing disc 2 and talking about how, like, oh my god, this guy, like, stole all my money in the game, and I had to chase him down the street, and then I finally got it, and then the disc ended, and it was, like, 11 o'clock at night, and I should go to bed. And, like, people were just looking at me like, what the hell are you playing? What is this weirdness? And I loved it. The mystery, the weirdness that happened. People, you know, screwing Ryu over on money and doing other weird things, and then fighting the Hell's Angels. Like, the game was so weird, but I loved it all at the same time. It's just so bizarre. And I don't even know where to go from here anymore. But check out the HD versions. If you, obviously they're on everything. They'll play on your new Xbox and PlayStations. And if you like them, check out 3. 3 is such a weird monstrosity to me because I don't mind that I kickbacked it. I love the fact that I kickbacked it. The weird thing to me is, like, it literally feels like a game that could have come out in 2002, 2003, and it would have been like, oh yeah, that's Shenmue 3, that makes sense. It's just so weird. I don't ever think I've experienced a game where you're like, yeah, it's still stuck right in that era, yet the game was made 15 years later. It's weirdly impressive, I think. But I still liked it. I wish the story actually finished. I am one of those people who was a little salty about that. But if it finishes at 4, they could do it. It's got to finish at 4. If it goes to 5, I think I'll actually lose interest, which is unfortunate because I still love it, but, like, I think 5 games is a bit too much to ask, especially in now modern era where they could say just do DLC as they went. But anyways, guys, that's it for this week's episode. I know I rambled, and more than usual because I was having a really hard time talking about Shenmue. I'm still trying to learn here, guys. Thank you for staying with me, those of you who are watching, guys. So take care. Have a good one.